Backstage.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News.
Suggested for mature audiences. Parental discretion advised.
All these factors must be considered as we plan for the survival of our homes, our families, and our nation in the nuclear age.
Pull the string! Pull the string!
This is our crew. We made it down to Concord.
The dragon is meant to be just an example of the injustices that people will put up with until they rise up and say, hey, I've had enough of this crap from you. In the three verses, the first verse is about a dragon. I'm using a dragon as that example. Dragons in medieval times were known for snatching children from the village, or the people having to give sacrifices to the dragon so he would leave the rest of them alone. And eventually the people went, oh, hey, this is enough. You know, we're losing our kids, and of course no one wants that to happen. So they rise up and they kill the dragon. So there's one dragon they killed. And the second verse is like a lord of the manor, or a king who's a very evil person. And eventually the peasants rise up against him and kill him. There's another dragon gone. Well, I needed another dragon, so the dragon became computer technology, which sometimes in my mind, and certainly in a lot of science fiction stories, if you think of some of those premises, which are that if we allow computers to take over our world, that they will probably become God. They will create their own computers, because we all know computers now have intelligence, can think, and can actually function as the brain does in some way. If we let it go too far, and as lazy as we are as human beings anyway, then perhaps the next God could be a digital one. So maybe that's sometime going to be another dragon we're going to have to kill. And I don't want to kill Silicon Valley. It is not an anti-Silicon Valley thing at all. But you know, I mean, as human beings, I think sometimes we're just too damn lazy, and we want something else to do it for us. So let's use the computer for what it can do for us, because it can do everything. But let's not let it be our God.
The band Black Sabbath. This is the sign of the Southern Cross. Is what? When it hears a certain sound, and the beast is free to wander wherever see around. It's the sign of the Southern Cross. The sign of the Southern Cross. you so much. Thank you.
I'm the kind of guy that people call all the time with their problems. And most of their problems are about chicks. Always about women. Oh, you know, my woman left me. What am I going to do? Oh, great, another depressing moment. Thank you very much. And so I say to them, well, just don't go there again. Just forget about it. Okay, I'll never do this again. This will never happen again. And then you know what? Along comes a spider. If it needed to be changed, it could very easily, digitally go, thank you, and just change it here. But we didn't need to do that. But it's nice to be able to have that kind of latitude to be able to do something like that digitally. But, you know, there's another trap you can fall into as well, and that is that it can be such an easy process to take this word and that note and that note, and you can make a song out of things like that. Well, that's the thing we never wanted to do. That's why we like to do it the other way. Here's what it is. Maybe if you make a cut here and there, that's okay. If you let digital technology get ahead of you, then it's time to kill another dragon. And that was not the dragon we wanted to kill. Let's go back to Silicon Valley again. I mean, this is the first album we've ever done totally digitally. Before we were always analog kings, you know, oh, I don't touch that digital stuff, man, it'll screw up their rock and roll. You know, and the only answer is that if you've got a great engineer that we do have, he's done our last 4 or 5 things we've done, a guy named Win Davis, he's so brilliant that he could take that analog idea, record it digitally, and it would come back as an analog attitude. Family, that's the most important thing ever been in this band. Dio, no matter who's been in the band, the person has always been accepted as a family member. Well, that person sometimes proves not to be a family member, and they're not here anymore. So, you know, I mean, not just the band, our crew. I mean, you're only as good as your crew. If your crew isn't good, you may as well kiss your ass goodbye because you're going to suck. But our whole crew and our whole band, we are a family. We are a family. We always will be. It's us against the world. We've always felt that way from day one when Jimmy and I were, you know, in the first Dio, or when we were in Rainbow, but certainly in Dio. It was us against the world, and we've always kept that attitude. It's very important. I was writing at the time, writing for this album. So I'm sure, well, I know Jimmy was at the time. Doug hadn't quite come in the scene yet. But I was at home. In fact, had woken up in the morning, I think it's 6 o'clock or so, as I usually do, and turned on the television. And what I thought was a bad Godzilla movie going on, this plane crashing into this building. I went, wow, what's that about? And then they said what happened. And because we live in L.A., and it was so surreal to us. It wasn't real. It didn't look real. And to this day, it doesn't look real. I mean, the only real part was when we played in New York and you look up in the skylines missing these 2 incredible buildings. Other than that, it wasn't real to me. So that also had a great impact on me, I think, you know, for parts of this album. That's where I was. There's another little point that goes along with that, too, and that is, let me get to the point, the song Rock and Roll.
Yes. Yes.
And the important part about this is that when that did happen, they started to censor some music. The joke wasn't a joke. I called a friend of mine as a DJ in New York. His name is Eddie Trunk. He's on WNEW, and he's like the guy who keeps rock and roll alive in New York. So I called Eddie because, being a New Yorker, I wanted to call him and say, please let me talk to the people that I care about and love there, and tell them that, you know, although we're 3,000 miles away, you know, we understand that, you know, what you're going through, and we're here for you, etc., etc. Not to belabor the point, really, but so he said, oh, great, say what you want to say, and I did. And then he said, did you know that they've censored some of your music? I said, and what was the reason for that? And he said, well, because of this September 11th tragedy. Well, why would that be? Well, because it was politically incorrect, some of the things you had written. Well, they were all written well before the fact, of course, you know. And that really, really pissed me off. Pissed me off to a point where I felt I really had to write something about it. So it became the song Rock and Roll, which, you know, which really, I think the middle 8 of the song says it all. It says, I can't remember the words to it. Send your heroes off to war, but whisper in their ear, never cross the song police. They can tell you what you're going to hear again. I mean, what? Excuse me? I mean, we have song police now? And that's what it smacked up to me. Here our country had just been obliterated by 2 planes, 3 actually, because of the Pentagon. And their only answer was, let's get rid of some rock and roll music. Aren't there other things you could have done, like maybe checked out what the FBI and the CIA really were going to say to each other? You know, because we know that scenario, don't we? So I got so annoyed by it that I needed to write something for it. So we wrote the song Rock and Roll about it. We're going to ram planes in their buildings and be politically incorrect with it. I think you better part out. Oh, I love it. I mean, the thing about us is we're intense, and I think that's what the connection is. We're intense. We do what we do. We just do it like there's only one way we know how to play, and that's full bore all the time. We do it in rehearsal. We do it when we write. We don't ever sit with our legs crossed. Yeah. Well, even though you guys do. when we play, look, don't you? I saw you do that. You know, everything we do musically, we do like full bore, and I think that's what they see that about us. In fact, Magica, the last album we did, was one of the was in the top 10 of skateboarding music. It was in Skateboarding Magazine. We were number 5, I think, which was really cool to me. Because, you know, as I told you before we got on camera, you know, we think very, very young. Sure, we're old, but, you know, you could be old in body and old in, you know, in skin, but, you know, it's what's inside that counts. And, you know, we've never been anything but just like you are. You know, we've just been kids, and we'll always be that. We loved the punk movement before because it was going, fuck you. It was selling to people, fuck you. We got problems here, and we're going to tell you about it. Fuck you. And that's so cool because they tell the truth. And we're truth tellers, we hope, in our music, and truth tellers in our attitude. So it's wonderful that, you know, that they care about us, because I think it just makes us brothers, you know, brothers in humanity. Forget the music, just makes us the same. You know, it was meant to be. You know, that was always in some ways an alternate to what Ozzy was doing, because I really started to do that a lot in Sabbath. Oh, yeah. And I did not want to do that. You know, I don't do it frivolously. I don't do it because, you know, I have to do it. A lot of times I'll even tease the audience sometimes and not do it for a while because I know what they want to see, because I've become kind of synonymous with it. You know, I didn't invent it, of course, but I made it, you know, part of what heavy rock was supposed to be. But now it's become diluted by, you know, I mean, you probably go to a classical, you know, concert, and they're doing some Bach, you know, and the guy's saying, excuse me, you have any idea what that's all about? You know, and Britney Spears things and whatever. But, you know, I just have to think that they mean it in the right way. You know, but see, there's a proper way to do it and a proper way not to do it. I mean, you've got to get the face into it. You got to lean into it. You got to make faces, you know. And there are ways to, like, you know, you do all these wonderful things, and now they just go, oh, we'll do that. No, this is a way of life. And, you know, do it right if you're going to do it. But, you know, I don't have any issues with the people who do it. I just wish that they knew what they were doing. You know, they've taken it from a place where it meant something to now, and they've taken it to their place where it means nothing to me. I'm doing this all the time, really. You know, I seem to be probably a pretty dull person because it's, you know, music has always been the thing that's most excited me, and when I think about it all the time. I have a small studio in my home, digital, by the way, for the Silicon Valley guys. And so I spend a lot of time in there doing things like that. I used to be a pretty avid TV watcher, but I haven't done that in a long time. I find television very boring now. I have other things I can do with my life. I have so little downtime, really. I mean, really don't have that much downtime that I just try to spend it, you know, with my animals or, you know, with my friends. And that's about it. I'm pretty dull. But, you know, music is not dull. So, you know, maybe I'm not that dull.
Yeah, definitely. Music is not dull. It's fun.
Giants, Rangers, Knicks, Yankees, thank you. Well, from my perspective, you know, they called the people called Wendy and said, we want to do South Park on Ronnie. And Wendy said, well, I'll speak to Ronnie. So she called me and I said, no way, they're gonna destroy me, they're gonna kill me. She said, no, I don't think so. I said, no, they're gonna destroy me. So she called him back and said, no, he's pretty sure that you're gonna destroy him. And they said, no, will you please tell him we're really, really big Dio fans, and, you know, we won't destroy him. We'll just do what we do with South Park, but really we won't. She said, well, I've seen what you've done to Elton John and to Rod Stewart and to, you know, all the other people that you really decimated. So she called me back and said, what do you think? And I thought, well, you know, if you want to be an American icon, if someday you want to be looked back upon as having something that really made some sense, you better be on South Park, pal. So I went, okay, do it. And then when I saw it, I thought, they were so cool. They were great. They were great. Well, they took more of the piss out of the drummer than me, so that was cool. I mean, they have a monkey masturbating. I thought they kind of said it all, you know. Yeah, that was our keyboard player, Scott Warren. It's the first time we've ever done, well, that's the second time we've done a solo, a keyboard solo. One was in, which track was it? Was it Rock and Roll Children, was it? No. I can't even remember what song it was. We've done it so seldomly. I should remember it. Do you know what? That's it. Thank you so much. Thanks. All the Fools Sailed Away. You'll be there for the next album, by the way. It was All the Fools Sailed Away, and this is only the second time we've done it. We wanted something that gave Doug a bit of a rest, to tell you the truth. I mean, after a while, you can do 12 songs, and if each one, oh, here we go, guitar solo coming. I thought it was nice to first give Doug a rest. I think it makes the other solos more important when there's something that kind of breaks it up. And it gave Scott a chance to play as well. And, we are a band that, was kind of in the mold of Rainbow, that Jimmy and I came from, and we loved Purple, and that was a, John Lord, real keyboard-based B3 kind of band. And so it was a nice adventure for us to be able to do that. And that's why we did the solo on it. But I don't think you're going to hear too many more. it's not as rough as you think it is these days from a selling standpoint, because we have the internet. I mean, people can release their products on the internet, burn your CD, do what you want in your little home studio. That route makes it a little bit quicker. But the real secret to it all is if you got any talent. If you got some talent, then carry on and just work hard at it. That's all. Know how to sing, learn how to sing properly. Don't have to go to teachers. I never have, and I never would, because I think doing that makes you what they are and not what you are. Teachers are usually people who couldn't do it themselves, so they teach. So for me, once you know you got some talent, then you've got to have that inner drive, that inner fire all the time. If you got both those things, use the tools that are out there these days. So, again, such as small digital studios. Burn your CDs, put them out yourself. It can be done. But it's all a matter of loving it and a matter of desire. I think that's the whole secret. It's been so special for us all of these years, from San Jose to San Francisco to this whole area. San Jose was a special time because there was we had just come out of the box with Bully Guy. When we went to San Jose, we thought, well, this is going to be one show. We got there and they said, there's so many people outside. We're going to put another show on. So we did 2 shows that day as well. And that was really all the beginning of it. And it was a matter not of a record company out there saying, here's the new album from this band called Dio, and you should go out and buy it, and it's great. Because the record company really didn't know what they had at all. What happened was, it was the kids, there's people like you, who were, wow, what a great record, check this out. And people wanted to come and see that band. So it was always, this deal was always been, it's always been people and the band. It's never been the record company first. It's always been us, and then the record company always just takes the credit as they usually do. But it's our hard work and the people who love what we've done and their hard work of being in all those shows that make the difference. Has always been in support of us. Some of our earliest shows were the best things. In fact, our earliest show was in Antioch, California.
Concert bar.
Right, and then things went from there. From San Jose when when KSJO was really blazing some music then. I don't know what they're doing at the moment, but well, they were always so great to us, and the kids used to turn up at the radio station, and certainly the people who came to the shows have allowed us to be somebody. So we want to thank you for always supporting the kind of music that we've made, and for just allowing us to be able to do this through all these years. And to Michael and this program that has always been behind us and always will be behind us. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronnie.
We love you guys.
Pull the string, pull the string!